Hello and welcome to today's video. Look, being in love is a beautiful thing, but it's a two-way street. And sometimes you might find yourself putting in more effort than your partner. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean your relationship is doomed, but it's a sign to take a step back and really look at what's going on. We're going to look at 9 signs you're more in love with your partner than they are with you. These signs can be like little red flags waving, telling you to pay attention. So let's dive right into it. Now tell me if this sounds familiar. You're the one always texting first, calling to say I love you, planning the dates. You're always the one reaching out, and while it might feel good at first, it can get exhausting. It's like you're playing a one-man band in a relationship orchestra. You see, healthy relationships thrive on reciprocity. Both partners should be putting in the effort to connect, to make plans, to show affection. If you're always the one initiating, it's time to ask yourself why. Is your partner just busy? Or are they just not putting in the same effort? Now, I'm not saying you need a spreadsheet to track who does what, but a little balance goes a long way. Look, relationships are about give and take, and if you're doing all the giving, well, you know what they say about all work and no play. Think about it. How does it make you feel when you're the one constantly reaching out? Do you feel appreciated, or do you start to feel resentful? It's time to have an honest conversation with yourself and your partner. Communication is key in any relationship. And this is where it really comes into play. Don't be afraid to express your needs and expectations. Remember, you deserve to be with someone who's just as excited to be with you as you are with them. Now, wanting your partner to be happy is natural. It's what we do. But when their happiness comes at the expense of your own, well, that's a whole different ballgame. Let me put it this way. Imagine a seesaw. You're on one side, your partner's on the other. For a relationship to be balanced, that seesaw needs to be somewhat level. But when you're constantly prioritizing their happiness, you're basically stuck on the ground, holding them up in the air. You're putting all the weight on your shoulders, and that's going to wear you down. Think about it. Are you constantly bending over backwards to please them, even if it means sacrificing your own needs and desires? Do you find yourself saying yes when you really want to say no, just to avoid disappointing them? Look, it's great to be considerate, but not to the point where you lose yourself. A healthy relationship is about 2 individuals who complement each other, not one person constantly dimming their light to make the other shine brighter. Remember, your happiness is just as important as your partner's. It's not selfish to prioritize your own well-being. It's essential. We all have flaws. It's what makes us human. But when you're head over heels, it's easy to put on those rose-colored glasses and see your partner as this perfect being. And listen, a little bit of idealization is normal at the beginning, but when you're constantly sweeping their flaws under the rug, you're not seeing them for who they truly are. It's like building a house on a foundation of sand. It might look good at first, but the first sign of trouble, the whole thing crumbles. Ask yourself, are you constantly making excuses for their bad behavior? Do you find yourself justifying their actions to yourself and others? Are you ignoring red flags that would send anyone else running for the hills? Look, nobody's perfect, and expecting your partner to be is setting yourself up for disappointment. Real love means accepting the good with the bad, not pretending the bad doesn't exist. Remember, love shouldn't be blind. It's about seeing your partner for who they truly are, flaws and all, and loving them anyway. Now, remembering important dates and details about your partner is great. It shows you care. But when you find yourself knowing their coffee order better than your own, or remembering every single thing they've ever told you, well, it might be a sign that you're a little too invested. It's like you've created this mental shrine to them, while they might not even remember what you had for breakfast. Think about it. Do you remember every detail of your first date, while they can barely remember what you did last weekend? Do you know their favorite color, their dream vacation spot, their deepest fear, while they struggle to remember your birthday? Look, it's great to be attentive, but it shouldn't feel like you're the only one keeping track of the relationship's history. A healthy relationship is a two-way street, and that includes sharing memories and important details about each other. Now I want you to take a moment and think about your own relationship. Do you feel like you're the keeper of all the memories? Do you find yourself constantly reminding your partner of things they should already know? It's time to have an honest conversation with yourself and see if there's a balance in how much you both remember and cherish the moments you share. Being there for your partner is important, but making yourself constantly available at their beck and call can be a recipe for disaster. It's like you've become their personal assistant in the love department, always on standby, ready to drop everything at a moment's notice. Now, I'm all for being supportive, but you have your own life, your own friends, your own interests, and neglecting those for the sake of your partner's constant need for attention is a surefire way to lose yourself in the relationship. Ask yourself, are you constantly canceling plans with friends or putting your own hobbies on hold just to be available for your partner? Do you feel obligated to answer their calls and texts immediately, even if it's inconvenient? Look, it's healthy to have boundaries. It's about respecting your own time and needs, and not allowing your partner to dictate your every move. Remember, you're not obligated to be at their beck and call 24/7. It's important to have a life outside of the relationship, to nurture your own interests and friendships. Now, every relationship comes with a certain degree of fear of loss. It's natural. But when that fear consumes you, when it dictates your every move and keeps you walking on eggshells, well, that's a problem. It's like you're holding on to them so tightly, you're suffocating the relationship. You're so afraid of losing them that you become a shell of yourself, constantly trying to please them, to be what you think they want, just to avoid that dreaded moment of rejection. Ask yourself, are you constantly worried about them leaving you? Do you find yourself going above and beyond to prove your worth, to make them stay? Are you afraid to express your true feelings or disagree with them for fear of rocking the boat? Look, relationships should be built on a foundation of trust and security, not fear. When you're constantly living in fear of losing your partner, you're not truly present in the relationship. Remember, true love casts out fear. It's about feeling secure enough in the relationship to be your authentic self, without the constant worry of being abandoned. Now, a little insecurity in a relationship is normal, but when you're constantly questioning your partner's feelings for you, when you need constant reassurance just to feel loved, well, that's a sign something's not right. It's like you're standing on shaky ground, never quite sure if you're on solid footing. You're constantly looking for validation, for proof that they care, and it becomes an exhausting cycle. Ask yourself, are you always the one saying, "I love you" first? Do you find yourself constantly seeking their approval, needing their validation to feel good about yourself? Are you overanalyzing their every word and action, looking for hidden meanings and signs that they might not love you as much as you love them? Look, love shouldn't feel like a guessing game. It should be a source of comfort and security, not a constant source of anxiety and self-doubt. Remember, you deserve to be with someone who makes you feel loved and secure, someone who doesn't leave you questioning their feelings. Now, wanting to impress your partner, especially in the early stages of a relationship, is perfectly normal. But when you find yourself constantly trying to be someone you're not, just to win their approval, well, you're headed down a dangerous path. It's like you're putting on a performance, trying to fit into a mold that you think they'll find appealing, instead of just being your authentic self. Ask yourself, are you constantly downplaying your accomplishments or interests for fear of outshining them? Do you find yourself agreeing with everything they say, even if you don't really share their opinions? Are you changing your appearance or personality to fit their ideal? Look, true love doesn't require you to be someone you're not. It's about being loved for who you are, quirks and all. Remember, you are enough, just the way you are. You don't need to pretend to be someone else to be worthy of love. Now, thinking about the future with someone you love is natural. It's exciting. But when you find yourself planning the next 5 years while they're still hesitant to make plans for next weekend, well, that's a red flag. It's like you're building a castle in the sky while they haven't even laid the foundation for a garden shed. Ask yourself, are you the one constantly bringing up the future, talking about moving in together, getting married, starting a family, while they shy away from those conversations? Do you find yourself making excuses for their lack of commitment, telling yourself they just need more time? Look, a healthy relationship requires both partners to be equally invested in building a future together. It's about shared dreams, shared goals, a shared vision for what lies ahead. Now, I want you to take a moment and reflect on your own relationship. Are you both on the same page when it comes to the future? Do you feel like you're both equally invested in building a life together? If not, it's time to have an honest conversation. That wraps up another video. Look, Love is a complex dance, and finding that balance, that equal footing, is crucial. Remember, you deserve to be with someone who loves you just as much as you love them. Be safe always. Big love from Human Sci Facts.